And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What button do I push? I think I push. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all know I've been gone a while. I'm trying to figure out which one of my buttons I want to push here. Hold on. All right, all right. Got it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to know podcast. I just listened to the audio. It doesn't look like it's going through. Let me check the settings. Audio. We want to go here. Caster. And that should be it. Let's go back and listen and see what it sounds like now. Because it was sounding different. And that was it. We put it together. So, yeah, what's up, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We got Viper J in the building. What's good? What up, though, man? Good to see you, man. Shout out to you. Hey, man, y'all looking good, man. Them Lions looking good for this season, bro. Y'all looking good. I think y'all got a shot of getting there. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everyone who's been reaching out to me, keeping tabs on me. I know I've been gone. It's been months. It's been months. I've been, posting videos from the car, but I haven't done a live in a very long time. Yeah, brother Mike on the building. What's going on, man? Mr. Recuse himself. Doing all right, man. There he is, Mr. Recuse himself, Miami-Dade, man. I need to get down, bro. I need to get down to the Dade. I've been working real hard. I'm doing a lot of things. And we're gonna just have a chat, man. We're gonna just catch up and just talk. Of course, we're gonna talk about politics just a little bit. Got to talk about what's going on in the Middle East, but we're really gonna talk about, just the daily struggles of the average American, bro. We're gonna talk about that, man. Like if you make one misstep, boy, it can cost you. So we're gonna talk about that and just catch up, man. See what y'all up to, man. We doing good over here. Thanks for asking. My not so little one, my daughter, man, she is doing really well. Really well in school. She's doing like she's planning out her future. Like, she's 16, she's kind of doing her thing. And she's right there learning, man. So we are doing well. I am so rusty, so dusty. I'm gonna be so far behind the power curve, guys, on our board with our sound effects, because I haven't sat in this chair in a minute, man. But shit, man, let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, bro. Brother Mike, am I going to be having, listen, man, the answer to that, no. Short answer to that is no. Medically, I can't, bro. I went and got the old snippity, snip done, bro, because I'm here to tell you the way the game is set up right now. This is another thing we're going to definitely be talking about moving forward. I'm going to try to sit down at least twice a week to do a live, and we're going to be talking about, the cost of, having kids, raising the kids. Like, we all know relationships are pretty crazy right now. And like family court and how family court is affecting, men in particular, when it comes to having kids, bro. Like, you remember when Rollo Tomasi said, man, this must have been like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, when Rollo Tomasi was saying, hey, if you're a young man and, you're doing really well, you have money, you have assets, and you have a bright future, that you should get a vasectomy. Y'all remember when Rollo said that? Bro. Bro. I'm here to tell you, man. Rollo was on to something. And now a lot of people, like, they took it, it went viral for a hot second, and, they tried to kind of flip what he was saying. But what Rollo was saying is, as a young man, you really need to think about it. You really need to think about it. Now, I want to say this. Being a father is the best thing that ever happened to me. I love being a dad. I really do. Love my daughter. I mean, she is my whole world. The fact that I'm sitting here in Tampa right now is a testament to how much I love my daughter. And that goes for her mom too. Like her mom took a lot of chances and uprooted her life to come here because she felt that was what's best. That was the best move for our child, right? So we're definitely going to talk about that, man. We're going to talk about, how that could be great. You know how on this platform I always say, man, if you find the right woman, you find a woman that works for you, like she will 1,000x your life. It'll be the best thing you ever did, having children and all that. It's amazing, bro. But if you find the wrong woman, that woman will destroy you, right? The right woman will help you get there. The right woman will support you and be there for you. She will, you know what I mean? She will be right there. She will be the wife that you need. She will be the significant other you need. She will fill in the gaps and cover your six. But the wrong woman, she'll dedicate her life to ruining you, and she will use whatever's at her means to do so, right? Even if that means don't have a kid, and then I can use this system to ruin this guy, right? It's crazy. Are there men out there who do the same thing? Well, men can't have children, right? Men can't. They don't decide who gets born and who doesn't get born in America. So, but there are men out there who will try to wreck you. Ladies, be careful, right? So yeah, man, like that is something to think about. Rolo was keeping it 100 when he said that. In today's world, you really need to think about it. Be careful. And people are like, well, just wear condoms and this, that, and the third. Cool, but paternity fraud is real. Like you can find yourself in court or paying child support for a child that's not yours with a woman that you never even slept with. So like these are like so many issues out there. I mean, there's a guy now, Poor Man Podcast followed this. I don't know if you guys seen it. If you didn't, we'll cover it as well over here. There's a dude who made an arrangement with a woman, grown woman, older than he was, right? She ran a play and he fell for it like, oh, I'll just be your sperm donor. So turns out she was like, yeah, just do that. And, I'll leave you alone. I just want the child and da-da-da. You got the genes. You seem cool and da-da-da. So he did the deed. She gets pregnant, has the baby. It turns into a whole thing. She drags in his family. She completely went against her word because her plan was to do what she did. Completely baby trapped this guy. And then come to find out that the child wasn't even his. And he had to go to court, went through all this, just to get out of the child support. Now, granted, he was wrong from the beginning, but just to get out of the child support, he wasn't able to get his money back. He had already invested some $50,000 in child support. Plus, I don't even think that even counted his attorneys and all that. And wound up in jail because he told his story, wanted to clear his name, and the judge locked him up for contempt of court for... the judge put a gag order or something like that, and the guy violated the order. Even though the woman violated a whole lot of orders out there, that didn't seem to matter. He violates this order, he winds up in jail. I don't know how much time he spent in jail. I don't know if he's still in jail. And I think this took place in Louisiana. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, guys. Crazy business out there, man. There's people out there, men and women, but we focus on females because we're males here, and we're we're here talking, there's men talking. Women, you guys are welcome, but I can't speak to y'all experience in dating, but I can speak to the male experience in dating. Yeah, man, Brother Jay, hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would do it. I look back, and I mean, when I was in my mid to late 30s, I was thinking about it. If you have like medical insurance, bro, it's covered. I mean, out of pocket, dude, I think it was like $30 out of pocket. And yeah, I would say it's certainly worth thinking about. People say, well, you might not be able to reverse it, but they can always extract your little men. They can always extract your semen. And then you can do what Andrew Schultz had to do to have a baby. You can use technology to impregnate your wife down the road. You find someone, you get married, you want to have kids. There's ways around it. I know a guy who had the procedure done. He got a vasectomy, then got divorced, had a nasty divorce with his wife. It was kind of crazy. But on the other side of that, he met a woman. She didn't have any kids. She wanted kids. So he got his vasectomy reversed. And then he had a baby with his new wife. And I don't know if he went and got snipped again. I don't know. But, there are ways. But something like that, bro, if you really talk to your doctor, right? Talk to them. You know, maybe talk to some other dudes, like, you know, someone like me. I'm like, dude, I'm done. I ain't having no more kids. And I've already had women hit me up talking about we pregnant. I'm like, who's we? I'm congratulating, like, hey, you're pregnant, great. You know, high five. What's up? You know, what you gonna do with the baby? You know, you gonna have a shower or whatever? And she's like, oh, you're the father. What we gonna name the baby? I'm like, what you mean I'm the father? Here go my documentation right here, baby. I got the snippy, snip, snip, snip. It ain't me. Guarantee you that it ain't me. Let's go. And you know, I never heard from her again. I've had, I mean, bro, over the past 8 years, you know, I've dealt with that a couple times, and it's funny you deal with it with women that you would think would never move like that. You would think like, man, there's no way in hell she'll do that. She a real one. She, you know what I mean? Mm-mm, mm-mm. So I did it. I'm happy I did it, but I'm here to tell you, bro. I'm here to tell you, you know, make sure this is a serious, you know, it's a serious procedure, but bro, I'm glad I did. And man, paternity fraud, bro. Again, we're going to talk about that too. Like paternity fraud is crazy in America. We don't really have any real numbers on it, but the numbers we do have show like crazy results. And I forget what it was, but I want to say like 3 out of 5 pregnancies that were tested, paternity tested, like DNA tested, 3 out of 5 of the tests were like, nah, that's not the dad. 3 out of 5 times. Wow. So yeah, that's definitely something we need to be doing. Like Brother Mike was like, man, if I decide to have kids, I would like 3, but if my money on Swole, 7 would be the most. I would like 4 boys and 3 girls. Most dudes that I encounter, man, they want families. That's why it blows my mind when I first got into the manosphere, right? When I first got into the mano swamp, the red pill world, whatever you want to call it, you know, I never really paid attention. You feel me? Like, you know, we talk about the invisible men over here. We talk about the bottom 80 and all that. I never really paid attention because I was one of the dudes out there with game, talking. I didn't need money. You know what I mean? I happened to be 6 feet, but it really didn't. None of that registered with me. The way we came up, we just did what we did. And I was fairly successful. And then when I found this space, I realized it was like, oh shit, I was real successful because most dudes don't even get that far. But all the dudes that I've talked to, top tier guys, bottom tier guys, it don't matter. I would say like 90%, maybe more, want families, bro. Like the average man wants themselves, they want a good woman that's down with them, that they can build with, and they want a family. And like you said, some people want big families. You know, I'm with you, man. Like you got to have a lot of money. Your money definitely got to be on swole. You talking about having 7 kids. Like you gonna have to, you know what I mean? It's definitely got to be on swole. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's natural. And I think that there are plenty of good women out there to have families with. You just got to find them. You know, we can't allow social media to have us believe that the vast majority of women are like the ones we see on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever. That's not the vast majority of women. Like the women y'all looking for, man, they ain't on social media like that. The women y'all looking for, the one to start these families and build with, they ain't in the clubs, they ain't in the lounges, they ain't on the yacht parties, they ain't in the penthouse parties, they ain't in the mansion parties. They're not. I mean, they'll go in a place like that, you'll see them posted up in the corner on the phone trying to get out of there, like trying to get somebody to pick them up or get an Uber, you know, or they're worried about their girlfriend. And nah, you want them women. You want the women that you never see, like, oh man, how long have you lived in this neighborhood? Your whole life. I've lived in this neighborhood my whole life. I ain't never seen you. Oh yeah, I went to this school over here, and my mom and dad, you know, they don't let me go out to many parties. Like, you live with your mom and dad? So they're out there, guys, you know, and they don't have a reason to make a TikTok or anti-man Instagram, you know what I mean, or YouTube post, because they got the dude that they want and they're living the life they want to live. So those are the women you're looking for. They're out there. They're out there. You know what I mean? It's just the bad ones, man. It's like the squeaky wheels. They get the juice, right? The squeaky wheels get the oil. It's a lot of bad squeaky wheel women out there saying all this stuff, doing all this stuff, and regretting, most of them, their choices. And then they get mad. You know, they get mad that life is treating them the way they treat them. You know what I'm saying? Brother Mike is like, I feel like as a man, did you just say I feel like merch? As a man, if you are not financially free as a man, you should not create, I think you mean life, create life Like, if you don't have the time, love, definitely the financial, and of course, a woman younger than you, depending on your age. I mean, there's a lot of talk about that. But hey, I tell guys that you can want what you want. Same thing we tell these women, you can want what you want, right? But yeah, you probably, probably gonna want to get a younger woman. Every woman I've ever been in a serious relationship with in my life was younger than me. Like, I've messed around with older women, but the older women were telling me this is just a fling. They were telling me, the older women, like, man, we just doing this. Like, no, I love you. This is not, I love you and I want to be with you and I can provide for you. They just be like, oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Just come on over here and blow my back out for me. That's all I need from you, young buck. Because the older women probably already got it. And a few of those women I was messing with didn't know at the time, but it came to find out that they were married, right? They were looking for what they wanted. So, you know what I mean? You got a point with the younger part, man. A lot of people don't want to hear it. You got a point. Schmeeble's in the building. What's good? What's good, man? What's good? What's good? Yo, I know I've been missing. Joe Cool in the building. What's good, fam? What's happening? I know I've been missing. I know it. And I apologize, but hey, y'all. For those who know, I mean, y'all know, like, we were making some moves, and I took some chances. I took some financial chances that didn't quite work out for me. So you got to recover. You got to recover. You got to recoup me. That means you got to do whatever you got to do to recover. And at the same time, Brother Michael, you were asking me about, a Saint Junior. I got one, but that situation is so god awful, right? This is why when I speak on the family court system, bro, I'm telling you firsthand what it's like when you go in there, especially in California. Bro, if you in Cali, man, get fixed. If you in Cali, get fixed. If you out there messing with them girls out there, bro. Because, man, they telling you getting that family court system out there, it is a wrap. But I mean, I have that situation. I'm dealing with that situation. And it's one of those things where you got to be patient. I know that this is going to be rough and I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait till my son is older and to a point where my son can understand, because this is the thing with little boys. Little boys will always seek out their father, always. Now with girls, this is why I'm here with my daughter. This is why I made the moves that I made. Like, you have to be there for your daughter. There are things that your daughter's going to need from her father that her mom can't provide. Like, and I'll give you guys an example. I mean, my daughter, and I've talked about this. I talk about this on the platform. My daughter is growing up and she's in public school systems, good schools, and she's always had that. And it's just so much floating around with these other kids. And I remember, I told you guys there was a point where my daughter didn't want to say that she was a girl, didn't want to use gender. She was like, why can't I be a piece of cheese? And we had to talk our way through that. That's what dads do. Moms can do that too, but that's what you need. Mom and dad to kind of be there for you. Like, so I have a relationship with my daughter where she comes to me and she tells me things, and anything important, she runs it by me. So now she's at that age. Like, she's, looking at boys, but she went from, I don't want to have a gender, I want to be a piece of cheese, to, well, she's a girl and she's a beautiful young woman. She's a teenager, but she's blossomed into a beautiful woman. And she got her dad that she could talk to about game. And we've been talking about it. Like, well, this is how this works. This is how that works. She'll tell me things that she's done. Like, well, I did this. And it's nothing like physical, guys. Like, she already knows what time it is. We've talked about that as well. Right. And this is another thing that parents don't like, to have these uncomfortable conversations. Like, you better talk to your daughter about what's going on out here in these trenches before someone else gets a hold of her. So my daughter knows what time it is, but we talk about, how do relationships work? How do you do this? Like the puppy love stuff. And it's right there. So if some boy walks up and tries to holler at, my little girl, which has happened before, she'd come back and she'll be like, yeah, Papa, somebody tried to holler at me. Holler, 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 holler. I'm like, word? What did he say? And she'll break it all down. Like, and then he's texting me like, oh, show me what he's texting. So my daughter will give me the phone. I'm texting the little boy on her phone. That's the kind of relationship that we have, my daughter and I. So guess what? Them little Romeos, you know what I mean? Them little Rico Suaves, them little Pookies and Ray Rays, they ain't going to be able to hit her with no game that her pops ain't going to be able to intercept. I'm sitting right there like, oh, that's a lie right there. And I mean, that's a lie. I guarantee you that's a lie. And, you know, we go in like he gonna tell you what he thinks you want to hear or what's worked for him in the past. This is what he really want. And she'll see it. She's like, oh, you were right, Pop. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give you the game now. So like, what we looking for? We're looking for a little nerdy boy. He got mommy and daddy in his life. You know what I'm saying? We looking for them boys with the good grades, right? We looking for them little boys who ain't got no game because dad is right here to help guide her. So I would say that it's more important if you got to make a choice. And this is a terrible choice to make. You know what? If any man or woman has been forced to make this choice, I feel your pain. But sometimes, you know, the world is what it is. We got to do what we got to do. I had to choose to be there and focus with my daughter. And of course, not just me, it's my whole family. I go to all my people and we talked about this. And they're like, man, you got to be there for your little girl. My son, we're just going to have to wait this out. We're going to have to wait it out. And, you know, with technology, the way it is today, we're going to, you know, as dad, I'm out here. DL saying he going to find me. His friends going to find me. Someone's going to know, like, he out there. Someone in his family going to be like, yo, your father, here's his YouTube channel. Why don't you hit him up on Instagram? You can text your dad. You can call your dad, right? That's going to happen. And when it does, he and I will be able to talk, father to son, right? Now, the big thing is, it's like, yo, your mom's the one. Now, I can't. For me, that's going to be the struggle. It's like, all right, what's happened between me and his mom has nothing to do with me and him. So I'm going to have to negotiate that a certain way, right? And again, Brother Jay, this is why I got the old snippy snip. After I screwed up and it was on me, I chose this chick. You know, it's on me. I chose it. Once I made that mistake, yeah, I'm Let's cut the pipes. Let's cut the pipes. I don't want to make another mistake like this. You know, because that's the wrong one. And it's always the kids that have to they'll have to pay. But I know I went off on a little tangent here, but I just wanted to let y'all know, like, you know, like Brother Jay, you talking about getting the procedure done. Brother Mike, you talking about it's going to be a little saint. There already is. And, you know, we have to make these choices, man. We make these actions. We do these things that lead to the next thing, and you can't run from it. Society might smite you for it financially, you know, and it's just craziness going on out there, but you got to keep pushing forward. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. And then you go out as a man, you're still trying to make moves. You're still trying to, you know, do your thing. And you might make a mistake. You might make another misstep, but you just can't give up. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, bro. Get fixed or get out. Exactly. Brother Donnie in the building. What's good, fam? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to be back. Like I said, I'm trying to work the schedule to where I can do a live at least twice a week. I want to get back to it. Yo, the YouTubers out there that tell you how to run a YouTube, man, I ain't lying. You got to stay active. Even though I've been posting like from the car and posting things here and there, I think I was doing pretty good with just, you know, putting up those posts from the car, you know, 2-3 times a week. It's not enough. You got to do this. You need the engagement. Plus, I'm also producing a podcast here in Tampa. I could tell y'all because it's just us right here. But, you know, Will Golston, 12-year NFL football player, D lineman for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a hell of a career. Real good guy. He's a father, entrepreneur, all around good dude. He's creating a podcast, and Uncle Saint is the producer of that. So we're doing that, and that's an in-studio joint. Like, we're like, you know, we film in studio. We're stacking up the content now. It's not going to be red pill stuff, bro. It's not. It's going to be just information that we think, or conversations that we think that most Americans want to hear. We're going to be talking about how to maneuver, how to move, and, you know, how to deal. You know, there's so many people out here looking at social media thinking they're so far behind because, you know, Bobby or Jane over there on their Instagram got them looking like they worth $1 million when in fact they're brokies like everybody else, man. Like, you got to understand that most people in America aren't really living, you know what I'm saying, a luxurious lifestyle. It's just not. They're not. So it is what it is. And Brother Mike was like, if I have a daughter, I will tell her to get married before it has. Yeah, you want to tell your children that, man. You don't want to explain to your children why, and you want to use what's going on in real life to point out, like, see this, you see that, you da-da-da, and they're like, okay, and it makes sense to them. You want to tell them like you don't, especially for women, like you just don't want to give yourself to any old body. It lessens your value. You don't want to do that. You want to, you want to get you someone, and I'm gonna be telling her like, hey, you want to get them while you're young. Like you're gonna peak out in your 20s. By the time you hit your 30s, if you think it's hard dating in your 20s, finding someone, wait till you get to your 30s and 40s. Like, no, you want to find someone young. That puppy love, bro. I think that's some cool stuff. And then just to have the right people around you so you can help, your community can help you find that person. So you're not just merging individually with that person, but you're merging families. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough for women, man. It's tough, bro. It's tough for women out here, young girls growing into women. And I mean, hell, it's tough for boys. You keep seeing how men are struggling right now. Like the way our society is, it's really difficult out here for young men. They're giving up. They're just giving up, bro. So we can't have that. We have to encourage our young men to step up and be men, but it's really tough. It's confusing out there. You have so many people, talking about, toxic masculinity and all that kind of stuff, bro. Like, yeah, all right, you toxic until they need somebody to step up and save somebody. When it's time to save the day, then you ain't toxic, but, and that's just like this American thing, bro. In the Western world, bro, I think here in America, especially, I think that, we're victims of our own success. We've gotten to a point where, I mean, bro, we have no real enemies right now, bro. We're creating enemies. I mean, if you look at it, we really have no enemies. Who's going to step up and try to do something to America right now, bro? No one. No one can do it, but we're tearing each other up. We're tearing up our society. We're tearing up our community from within. Right? That you look at these attacks on the Constitution. I mean, we destroy that Constitution, bro. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I don't know what it's gonna look like if we fall apart as a nation. And of course, America will decline and one day go away. I think Theo Von had a guy on who's an expert in Roman history. He was talking about the decline of Rome and like the fall of Rome and comparing the Roman Empire to the American Empire. And, we're going to talk about that too. We might even pull that up tonight. But, unlike Rome, I think America will fall from within if we don't make some changes. And the first change will have to be education, bro. We got to get out here and get educated, bro. We got to get out here and get educated, bro. We got to challenge people to think. And we gotta pay a living wage, man. Like that's one of those things, man. We got to pay a living wage, which is one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. That's one of the things that I wanted to bring up. Johnny Harris is a big YouTuber. He got over 6.75 million subscribers. And about a month ago, he did a video. He talks about what's the name of the video? It's 25,000 versus $25 million. And we're talking about like income and, how people live on the money, right? How people live on the money. So, and the difference, like, that's the thing. Like it's a huge difference. So we'll start there and then we'll talk about Iran. America, like the federal minimum wage in America is like $7.25 an hour. That's the federal minimum wage. I don't think there's a state in the union that pays that. I think every state in the union has a minimum wage higher than $7.25. So here in Florida it's $13 an hour. I know because like I said, I had to go out here and hustle. So now I'm out here. I wanted to find something that was mindless. I'm like, look, I just want to, I haven't worked in the private sector since the 90s. So I want to let me go out here and see what's going on. And things are so different out here, bro. Like just getting a job. I grew up in the era, bro, where, they would have help wanted signs in the window. Or you could walk in, ask, hey, are y'all hiring? Fill out an application. They call you in a couple of days later, give you a little interview or something. Bam, you working. And that's like entry level stuff, man. Restaurants and, like just real small entry level, like maybe a data entry position somewhere or maybe some position where you're doing like telephone customer service, Just stuff like that. Like you will find out who's hiring. Normally, you could, find it in the newspaper or something like that. Go to a physical location, brick and mortar, walk in there and say, hey, I just wanted to apply. Are you guys hiring, or are you guys, looking for help or whatever? And they're like, yep. They'll give you an application. You fill out the application. You can attach your resume, but you didn't even really need one. But if you had one, attach the resume and give it back. I remember going to Fifth Third Bank in Cincinnati, Ohio, trying to find a job when I got out of the Army. So I'm at Fifth Third, was it Chiquita, Procter and Gamble? These are like the big companies in Cincinnati. Some of them are still there. Some of them aren't. Of course, Fifth Third is still there. Chiquita, I'm not sure. It was a insurance company there. I can't remember the name of the insurance company, but bro, right? This is back in the day. You walk around, had a pen in your pocket, man. You go, you fill out your application. They call you in for an interview, and if you made it that far, and and it kind of went from there. GE, just stuff like that. I worked for different banks. Worked for Provident Bank. I was doing wire transfers for Provident Bank. I got that through a temporary service. So like, you had that, you can go to a temp service and just fill out an application there, and they will place you somewhere. And most of the placements were, temp to permanent. It was just a different way of getting out there and getting hired. But now, bro, if you ain't got a phone or a computer, you can't even apply. You can't just walk in. I think maybe at a McDonald's or Burger King, you might be able to do that. I think my daughter and I, this was last year, we were in a drive-through at Burger King, and my daughter was asking about working, and I was like, she's 15 now. And they're like, yeah, we hire at 15 or 16 or something like that. And the woman in the window was ready to, get her hired, right? So I think you can still walk in to a fast food restaurant, but they'll just tell you where to go on your phone to apply. It's no longer, no more paper applications. So it's like, okay, do that. So I wanted to get back into it and see what it's like. So, all right, cool. So that was the big first shock, was like just getting your application in. Bro, you need a computer, you need a phone. So I'm like, all right. And same thing. I was like, well, do they have temporary services? Because I was very particular as to what I wanted to do, because to me, I needed to be free certain times of the day. I couldn't just be gone whenever. So a friend of mine was like, I'll go on Indeed. That's like the temporary place. That's where people go to get the resumes out there. So I went on Indeed, and I'm like, oh, okay. You see all these positions, and Indeed has a lot. I mean, everything is like there, from entry level positions all the way up through, like high end management type positions. They got everything on Indeed. So I like, all right, I threw together a little resume. Of course, I didn't put all my experience on there, like what I've done, what I've been doing, just real basic, because I'm just looking for something. I'm like, I just want something, get my feet wet, see what's going on. So I did find a position. I'm like, all right, this is cool. The hours work for me. Like, hey, they're really flexible. Like, yeah, I need to be off on these days between these times, no problem. And it gets me, like, I'm very active. It's mindless work. Like, this is going to be one of the first jobs that computers are going to take over. It's mindless. But for me, it's good because it keeps me walking. I'm kind of outdoors a little bit. And I mean, it gets me off the sofa. And, because I am retired, but I spent about a year and a half on the sofa when things didn't go the way I hoped they would go. And, I started getting hit hard with not federal, but family court, and seeing other stuff going on. It's so easy to fall into that lightweight depression. It's easy to get down on yourself. And it happened. It happens to the best of us. And I was on the sofa, and my people were like, man, you got to go do something. So I'm like, all right, I'm up, I'm running around, I'm doing my thing. But man, oh man, it was hard just getting the position. So now I'm working, and I'm there with people. I'm working for a rental car company. I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they'll get mad, or if there's a thing, with me broadcasting or whatever. So, but I'm doing this, and I'm working, with the other employees, And I'm looking at how much these positions pay. Like you have like the entry level stuff, and then you have like their, lower end management, middle management, upper management, all the way up to corporate. And I just kind of went on the corporate site, the insider site, to see positions. I'm just seeing what positions do they have. Because now everything's automated, right? Everything, again, through your phone. You go in there, they got stuff all over the world. And I'm looking at how much these positions pay. And, bro, I'm here to tell you, man, I didn't see any position, management or otherwise, that paid more than $60,000 a year. I saw one position for a spot in Europe, and I think that it was a range from $80,000 to $90,000 a year. And you needed a ton of experience to even apply for it, because this was like, their corporate stuff. But everything else, man, was like under 60 grand. And I'm thinking like, bro, 60 grand? That's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. And of course, we know, like if you watch me, if you're in the manosphere or whatever, any of these places that are data driven, you know that the median income, individual income in America is right around 50 grand. And, depends on what source you look at, but anywhere from 40 to 70,000. I know it's, that's $30,000 swing there, but the median is right around 50, 55,000. Household just went up. I think household is the high 80s now. Call it 90,000 household, which is generally speaking more than one earner, like normally two earners. So there you go, 45,000 each. So yeah, right around 50,000. And it's like, wow, that's the median. Half of the country makes less than that, and half of the country makes more. Like, man, that's crazy, bro. And the people I work with, man, they work hard. They work hard. They've been with this company years. The ones who've been around a while, I'm talking to them, they've been there years and years and years. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, well, how much are you making? You've been with this company, 10, 11, 12 years. And I know you're making less than 60 grand. Like, whoa, where are you living? Like, how are you surviving? Like, how are you eating? Like, what's going on? So let's pull up this video. See if we can share this real quick. Here it is right here. And again, this is Johnny Harris. I hope we don't get in trouble for showing this. Are we still broadcasting? Yeah, we still broadcasting. Hope we don't get in trouble for showing this. And I appreciate y'all for listening to me, checking me out, man. Appreciate you. We still here, man. We're in America. We're in Australia, bro. We still here, bro. And for those of you guys watching on Team Replay, man, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking it out and waiting for me. Thank you for waiting for me, bro. So we're going to watch this video. He breaks it down. He talks about people who make 25,000 versus people who make 40,000, and like what your life would be like if you make 100,000, 1 million, and 25 million per year. This is what he's talking about. I'm definitely going to link this video in the description below. If you guys are watching, please check out the whole thing. Bro, Americans need a living wage. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 is ridiculous. And the fact that Bernie Sanders has been one of the senators out there, there's quite a few of them actually, people in Congress, people in the House, people in the Senate, trying to raise the federal minimum wage. And they're like, no, we don't want to raise it. That's insane. The fact that they don't want to raise the federal minimum wage. California, about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, recently raised their minimum wage to $20 an hour in LA. I think it's the whole state, but they were talking about it. It is the whole state. And they were talking about like, how it affects, people out there. $20 an hour. And keep in mind, that's not based on a 40-hour week. You're not getting 40 hours. But $20 an hour, guys, that's not going to cut it in California. Like, you're going to need another job and a half just to put a roof over your head, and like in some little box somewhere that you're sharing with 3 or 4 other people. Like, it's so expensive in California. Same thing out here in Florida. You can be in Central Florida if you're making, because I mean, what's $20 an hour? That's like 30. Let's hold on 1 second. Let's see what that is, man. $20 an hour. That times 8 hours. $160 a day. And that'd be times 40 hours a week. 6,400 times 4. That's $25,600 a year. 25,600 before taxes, right? $20 an hour. It's 25,600 before taxes. So that's pretty much where he is on this video. So let's watch this video and let's see what $25,000 gets you. Oh, we got brother Michael in the building. What's good, fam? What's good, fam? How you feeling? Good to see you, man. $33K a year. Nah, it's less than that. $20 an hour. And it's less than that. So let's check out what $25,000, how far that takes you. Let's check out this video, guys.
This is what a $25 million a year salary looks like versus a $25,000 a year salary. About 20% of Americans live on this amount of money or less. I want to show you the lifestyles of people who make this much money versus this much money, and everything in between. The reason I want to look at these differences is because of this graph. It's going up, which is a problem. Let's start with $25,000 a year.
Now, keep in mind, guys, 25,000. So we've already established that the median income in America is about 50 grand, right? Let's just say 50, somewhere between 50, 60,000, somewhere in there. Median income is around $50,000. So 25,000 is half of that. Half of that. So remember, like the median is the middle. Like you take the highest earners and the lowest earners and everybody, you find that point is right in the middle. It's not, the average is always going to be different, but the median is right in the middle, which means half of America makes less than that. Half of America makes more of that. So let's continue. Let's check this out.
All right, so let's say my name is George. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I am single and I have no kids. And I'm looking for a job. After some searching, I found this job as a security guard at a TV studio in downtown Atlanta. It'll pay me $12.50 an hour, which is quite a bit more than the minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. Let's assume I work 40 hours a week, and I work every week except 2 that I set aside for holidays, sickness, and vacation. This means I make $25,000 a year. At this level, around 29% of Americans earn as much or less than me. So how
29%, like damn near a third. That's like 1 in 3. It's like 1 in 3. So George is single and he has no kids. Don't forget that, guys. $25,000 a year, like what did he say, like $12.50 a year. Again, the minimum wage in Florida is $13 an hour. It's going up in September. It goes up $1 to $14, and then a year after that, it goes up to $15 an hour. So remember, the federal minimum wage is $7.25. And don't think for a moment that the corporations in America would not hesitate to drop everybody down to $7.25 if they thought they can get away with it. Let's continue.
will I spend it? This comes out to be just over $2,000 a month that I have to spend. I gotta pay taxes. That brings me down to $1,764 to live on this month. To calculate this next part for this income and all of the incomes we're looking at, I used some data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics that shows that people in this income bracket spend about 41% of their pre-tax income on housing. I've got about $850 for all my housing expenses. That's nearly half my after-tax budget. I'll definitely be renting instead of owning a house at this budget. A lot of landlords these days require you to earn 3 times more the monthly rent. So I'm probably gonna need roommates if I'm gonna get approved for an apartment. All right, let's look at Craigslist. I really can't afford to live downtown, so I'm gonna look in the outskirts. And I found this place right outside the city. This is gonna work and it's within my budget for rent and utilities. So how am I gonna get to my job, which is in downtown Atlanta? That's 20 minutes away from where I live. And like most American cities, there's not great public transportation here. So I'm gonna need to have a car. Let's just say in this assumption, and it's kind of a big assumption, that I already have a car. And let's assume it's this car. It's a 2004 Toyota Solara that I got on Facebook Marketplace. Lower income Americans spend more on their income for transportation than any other segment of the population.
Because they make less money. Here's the thing, bro. He's being very generous. Someone making $25,000 a year who's single, don't have any kids, like a young person, probably still in their 20s. And he said he's in Atlanta and he found a job as a security guy at a TV studio. He's probably gonna be working at night. That's a dangerous job. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. You just don't know what's gonna happen. You walking around in a hard uniform, bro. That's a problem. But no public transportation, facts. So the average person is not gonna have a car. Even like finding a car for sale, and let's just say you buy a car that's in good shape, man. That's fantasy. It's more likely your family gave you a car, like the car you had that you drove in college or high school that your family, mom and dad gave you, is paid for. Is they've been giving you money to keep the maintenance up on it, so it's a good car. That's where that came from. All right, nothing wrong with that. But people I knew, like when I came up, when I was that dude, bro, when nobody give me nothing like that. No one could. No one could. The best you can do is maybe someone will co-sign for you. But you still got to come up with the money to pay for that. Paying for the car note itself, paying insurance. Right? 'Cause I don't even think he put money in the budget for insurance. He might have. I think he just, I don't know, but his insurance in Atlanta is gonna be like a car note. It's gonna be like a car note. He's not living in great neighborhoods, so it's not like he's out in Buckhead somewhere, like out there, outside the Beltway. Like he's still in close to the city, right? So, he's probably in Bankhead. He's probably somewhere that he can afford with the two roommates. He's got to park his car outside, man. People gonna be breaking into your car, man. There's so many things that can happen that happens to poorer folks or folks at the bottom end that they can't recover from. So, but like I said, he did a really good job here. So I'm not knocking him. I just want to throw that in there, bro. Like there's more to this. Even if you have a car, just insurance on that vehicle is gonna hurt your budget if you're only making $25,000 a year before taxes.
The data we'll use says about 15% of pre-tax income is spent on transportation. Wow. So that's $313 for gas, insurance, parking, and saving up for maintenance and repairs. We got to be pretty careful about how much extra driving we do and hope that no big maintenance issues arise. According to this BLS data, I spend about 15% of my income on food. That includes both groceries and eating out. That's $313 a month for food. A lot of people think that this income bracket just goes to McDonald's all of the time, but the reality is the average order amount at McDonald's is between $7 and $8, so that will not get me through the month. That will get me.
And that's gone up. That's gone up. Right? Like fast food has gone up. If you going, I came home late. So normally my daughter's with her mom in the summer, but my daughter gets to choose where she wants to go. So she came home. Like I took her when school was out, took her to her mom's. A few days, like week later, I think it was a week later, she's like, come get me. So I came and got her, and she's been home ever since, which is, I love it. It's great. I ain't gonna lie. It's amazing to have my daughter around. She made pancakes. She made me pancakes yesterday. I mean, because we was talking about how it works. Like when you love someone, you do things for them that you don't do for everybody else. You do things not because you want to, not because you have to. You do it because you love them. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm doing this. I don't want to make pancakes. I want to stay in bed, but I'm gonna get up and make you pancakes. So she got up and made me pancakes. They were good. They were good. I'm gonna teach her a couple more. I'm gonna give her some more secret sauce on how to make the pancakes. And then like today, so I made her this. That was like last week or something like that. And then I made her pancakes and bacon today. She was so happy. Like, Papa, you made me some bacon? Like, yeah, I'll make you some bacon. But she's starting to understand. But the point is, I was leaving work late one day. I'm coming back. And I based this schedule on my daughter not being here. So, I work late. So I'm coming home and, no, I'm going to work. And she's like, Papa, can you bring me back some chicken nuggets from McDonald's, please? And I'm like, all right, because we don't eat a lot of fast food. So I'm like, okay. So I stopped at McDonald's to get her a chicken nugget meal, 10-piece chicken nuggets, fries, and a drink. Bro, that was $12 and some change. That was $12 and some change, bro. Like $12 and some change. Old Joe in the building, what's good, fam? Oh, Joe, I am back, man. So we got to get you on. I know that we were talking about doing something, man. So I'm back. I'm going to try to do at least 2 lives a week, bro. At least 2 lives. I don't know what days are going to be, but it's probably going to be like late Friday because we shoot the podcast with Will Golson on Friday. So it'll be late Fridays and then like maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that, man. But it's good to see you, bro. I can't wait to talk to you because I want to talk to you about what's going on in Canada. Is it as bad in Canada as it is down here? Like what we talking about with this financial stuff. I want to hear from you. So anyway, I know I took a long time to say that he was saying that fast food is, $7.77 to get fast food. Nah, bro, you ain't getting nothing out of McDonald's for $7.77. Like I said, the chicken McNugget meal wasn't even the most expensive meal on the menu. And that was the value meal. That was value, bro. So, bro, fast food has gotten expensive. If you have a family of 4 and you're talking about going to McDonald's, right, to feed the family or whatever, for a family of 4, bro. I mean, sheesh. After taxes and everything, drinks, you get like a little ice cream with that too. You get like the 4 meals with some ice cream or cookies or something like that, bro. You're probably looking at $100. $100 to go to fast food. $100. You should be at Applebee's for $70. You shouldn't be at McDonald's for $100. But let's continue.
Me through 13 days worth of food. So I gotta go to the grocery store. Unfortunately, in most lower income areas in this country, there aren't a ton of grocery stores, and the ones that are available are much less likely to carry fresh produce or other nutritious food. So I'm gonna see what I can do by stocking up on beans and rice, peanut butter and jelly, Wonder Bread, Top Ramen, freezer meals. For fresh options, I'll be looking at potatoes and some of the cheaper produce, and no eating out, or rarely, occasionally, on special occasions, eating out. If I do, I'll be looking at the value menu at a fast food restaurant. I'll be looking for discounts, checking every price in the convenience store. Okay, but wait, don't I get government assistance for food, like food stamps? So from my research, I can see that to get government assistance, I need my savings account to be less than $2,000. Check. My income needs to be lower than $19,578. And I make $25,000, so nope, I don't qualify. Okay.
And that's a big point right there. Y'all saw that? He's making $25,000 a year, but if he makes under that 1978 or whatever it was, then he could qualify for government assistance, right? And that's in Georgia. I'm not sure what county. I don't know if that was the Cobb County that he's in, but to get assistance, state and federal assistance, it varies from state to state, city to city, or whatever, county to county. So in California, you could be making $60,000, I think, a year and qualify for assistance. You can get like the EBT card or whatever, like the food card, basically the new way of food stamps. But here's the point I wanted to make. You're making $25,000 a year. You busting your butt, you working hard, you don't really see a future there. And it's like, well, if I work a little less or find something off the books, like if I just go work, get my money under the table, like, I got a strong back, let me go work for this moving company, or let me go and work for this power washing company, and they pay me cash, I can get federal assistance. I just got to make a couple thousand, I got to make what, $8,000 less. I can go out here and get family assistance. And this is what people are doing. They're trying to figure it out. It's like, well, shit, man, I can't, and when you single, I guess you're not really struggling. So, you're struggling, but it's just you. You can handle that. But when you add kids to the mix, now it's like, well, it's best for the family. I got to feed the kids. Let me go on and make less money and get these food stamps. Let me make less money so I can get some housing assistance. Let me make less money so my kids can go to a better school. That is not how America should be. That's not how America was founded, right? That's not the way. You're supposed to be pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's like, ain't no way. There's no way you're getting out of the hole. $25,000 a year, right? And he doesn't even talk about college debt and all that, credit card debt, which we know is a big thing, right? He, like I said, he keeping it real basic, which this is a really good video.
Okay, so we've covered our basic needs of housing, food, and transportation, but I still have a lot of expenses. We hear a lot about healthcare being a massive personal cost in the US, but what does that actually look like? Georgia's Medicaid website says that I qualify for government help, but even with that, I will be paying around 10% of my income on health-related expenses like medicine, doctor visits, getting care that isn't covered by this government insurance. This is one of the reasons why people in my income bracket live around 7 years less than the richest Americans. After all these main expenses, I'm left with a small amount of money for everything else. And there's a lot more that I need to spend just to live. Laundry, internet connection, cell phone. Conservatively, that adds up to $105, not taking into account the overcharges and hidden fees. Like, you're starting to see what's happening here. This doesn't add up. Entertainment, fitness, and travel just isn't feasible. I have no emergency savings, no rainy day fund, and live in stress of an unexpected car repair, a health emergency. Any of these unexpected charges could be a major setback. I'm probably gonna have to join the huge number of Americans that rely on debt to get through the month, whether that's credit card debt or short-term loans with high interest rates. Maybe I'll need to move back in with my parents or take on a second job. Maybe I'll start driving Uber or DoorDash. But what's clear is that my full-time job, which pays much more than the minimum wage, is still not enough to make it through the month. I'm gonna pause the video really quick.
So the video gets better. We'll probably revisit this, but he gets into. We'll watch the part about the guys who are making $50,000 or $40,000, and then we'll watch that, and then we'll stop it. But most Americans, again, if we accepted the median individual income is $50,000, like half of the country is making less than $50,000 a year. Half of America. So let's pull it up. I'm curious now. Let's see, median income of Americans. Of an American. Ooh, this can't be right. Hey, you guys can do the same thing out there if you're watching, man. Pull out your phones or your device or whatever you're looking at and see what y'all see. I'm looking at something that says in 2023, the median household income was $78,538 household. I mean, that's multiple incomes. This also states $39,982 was the median individual income in 2023. It's a couple of years ago. Wow. Yeah, and that's the Census Bureau here in the U.S. This is census.gov, income in the United States 2023. It says the household income was $80,610,000. Damn. Average income for one person in the U.S. What is this? This is Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis says the number is $42,220, and that was 2023. God, dog, it's probably gone up a little bit, but it's not gone. So we can say 50. Let's say it's gone up $8,000. We can still say 50,000. Damn. And then Statista says that in 2023, per capita personal income in the U.S. was $68,531. I heard that number before. So you see what I mean? It's like it's a swing, but man, let's say 50. Let's say 50 grand. Let's say the average American is making like 50 grand. This is crazy. We got Brother Manjo in the building. What's good, fam? 50 grand. And we saw with half of that, what you could do with half of that, $25,000 at the end of the month, you were all the way upside down. You're $25 in the hole, right? Let's run this. I'm gonna run this back. I'm gonna stop it because they were saying that people got to get debt. Let's hear this right here. So let me pull this up. So George, our make-believe person who was making $25,000 a year, $2,083 a month is what he's making. Taxes, 15% comes out. Housing is budgeted $850. That's 41% of his income's coming out. Transportation, $313. Food, $313. Healthcare, $208. Everything else, $105 a month. He spent $2,108. He spent 101% of his income just living, trying to live. So he's like negative $25. Again, this is a single person with no kids. Didn't talk about any student loan debt. He was talking about college. Like, oh, I'm sorry, he was talking about how to carry the difference. Like, you're gonna need some sort of credit card or whatever. Americans can't afford to live in America. Right? I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. If anything happens, right? So you're looking at, let's say that he manages, like you said, he's gonna probably have to get another job, maybe Uber. But if you Uber, you're putting more, you're increasing the risk of something happening to the car. You need more maintenance. I drove Uber in California because I was dealing with the family law stuff I was telling y'all about, man. I've been dealing with this for 8 years. And I was driving Uber. And bro, when I tell you, like, you start making money in from Uber. When I first started driving for Uber, I was driving a BMW X5. The car was 10 years old, but I always took care of my vehicles. So the car was good. I'm driving that thing and my car got destroyed, literally destroyed, driving for Uber. Some kid on the freeway, tires were bald, blew out a tire, slid into my car, destroyed my front axle. I went spinning off. I hit somebody else. Almost got hit by a semi truck. I was like, I went through one of those medians to the right. So like there was the on ramp that was coming. I went through the grass that separated the on ramp from the freeway. You know how it comes to that pinnacle. So you got like kind of like that grass in between. Went across that, destroyed the undercarriage of the car. I slammed on the brakes because on the other side of the on ramp, it dropped off into one of those covert things. It's like a man-made river kind of thing. So I was like, bro, I need to stop before I go over that. The car comes to a stop in the lane for the on-ramp. I look up and hear some lights coming. There's a semi-truck. I was able to put the car in reverse, stepped on the gas, and it had just enough power left to get me off of that on-ramp. And of course, the truck was, slamming on his brakes, trying to slow down. So I didn't get hit by the truck, but totaled the car. X5 was gone. Right now, mind you, I'm an air traffic controller. So I had at the time I was still surviving. I'm afloat. I had other money, had access to other things, like good insurance. So I wound up getting another car. I got a Volkswagen Passat, and I got that car like for Ubering. That thing died, and I bought that car cash. That thing died. It wasn't new, guys. It was a used one. Transmission just went out on that. Lost that car. Went and bought a Mitsubishi Outlander. Yeah, Outlander Sport, I believe it was. And I stopped driving Uber at that point. So this was like a year and a half time frame from when I started driving Uber to when I stopped. And bro, when I tell you, like, the money you made from Uber went right back in. You had to maintain the car. You had to pay for extra insurance. I had my regular insurance, but I had to change my insurance because I was driving Uber. So, your insurance companies make you get a certain type of insurance, which was more. And just keeping the car clean, it was, your maintenance increases. Now I have to go get, more maintenance done on the car because I'm driving the car more. Yeah, so in the short term, you're getting money. Money's coming in, but it's flying out. You're like, okay, I made an extra 35%. Great, but I have to pay out 42%. Right? It was horrible. And then, my daughter was way younger. Things come up with that. Just still paying for daycare, even though she was in, school. I got the little one that was just born, paying for daycare on that, dealing with the court system, paying for lawyers, going to court every other day. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And I was making well into the six figures. Well into the six figures. And I was out there having a hustle like this. And I tell you, bro, it was a pain in the ass. So going out there driving for Uber may not be the answer, because you might mess up that car. So your second job, going out driving for Uber, that's going to increase your transportation costs. It's going to double it at least, because maintenance is going to go up. Right? And people get in your car and tear your car up. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times I had to turn around. I was about to put my hands on people doing Uber. Like, And you got to see how bad people can get. Like, nah. Like, nah. So, bro, I'm just here to tell you, man, like $25,000 a year for just a single person. You can see it right here. You're negative $25 a month right off rip. You're negative $25 right off rip, which you really should have to add probably $200 or $300 to that. You're really going to be down because you know you're going to screw up because you know you're supplementing your income with credit cards, so you could probably add a couple $100 a month. Now you got that credit card debt creeping up on you because one night you were just feeling bad. You went out with your friends and just lost control, had a good time, bought one too many rounds, had a good old time or whatever. You come home, it's like, oh, man, I spent an extra $115, $125. Oh, man. But you got to blow off steam. You got to be able to do it. Brother Smeebles, he was like, and a massive issue with Uber people don't remember to account for taxes. Facts. So come tax time, they get massive bills because it's not accounted for. Facts. I had a really good accountant at the time, and the way I made money off of Uber was the tax offset, right? All that extra maintenance, all that extra fuel, the extra insurance. It was a business. So my accountant did all the paperwork. So I was able to basically use Uber as a small business, which was a tax offset for what I was doing. So it was offsetting my taxes. Because remember, I'm paying a lot of taxes on my income as an air traffic controller. And at that time, I was close to $200,000. I needed the tax breaks. And that's where I got them, you know, with the Uber. So it worked out for me. It wouldn't work out now that I'm retired. If I try to do that now, it would absolutely hurt me, just like Brother Smeebles was saying. And that is a fact. People do not take that into account. And the next thing you know, you got the government coming at you because you owe them money. And, bro, when the government comes for you, I'm here to tell you, that hurts more than anything. More than anything. Look at Michael like, I see why you don't want any more kids. Yeah, bro, I'm not on that, man. I will mentor, I will coach, but I ain't trying to have no more babies on my own. It ain't happening. Even when it comes to dating, bro, I'm not trying to date women who got kids younger than my kids. I'm not trying to date women who got kids, period. So, like, you know, my daughter's just about ready to graduate high school. When she's gone, that's it, bro. I'm not messing with anybody who got kids. I'm just not doing it. And if, you know, a lot of women be like, well, you know, it's just a physical thing, whatever. And I'm not worried about the condom slipping up or whatever because I'm fixed. But at the same time, it's like dating someone with children, bro, like the kids are the most important thing in their life. If you dating someone who has kids, bro, you got to be flexible. So, you know, I tell folks all the time, like, hey, do what you want to do, man. But if you there's no such thing as dating a woman who had children. You're not going to have a relationship with her children. There's just no way. There's no way you're going to be able to pull that off. Like if you just talking about smashing, if she's rec use only, Brother Michael, if she's recreational use only, fine. She come through, she get it when she wanted, she going about her business. But even with her, she got to get it on your schedule. Like, she'll tell you when she's free. She'll come over when she ain't got the kids. And then you tell her what the rules are. Hey, man, to put the phone on mute, whatever, we're gonna do this real quick. And then you can turn your phone back on or check your phone once we finish. But, bro, man, I got stories. One day we'll do a show when I'll tell my stories. And when I was dating women who had kids before I had kids, I'll tell those stories. But we ain't gonna do that here. But, bro, it's crazy. So you see right now $25,000 a year. All right, $25,000 a year. You ain't making it, right? You in the hole. You in the hole. And keep in mind, this is a single person with no children. The single person with no children. Again, you add kids to this, you're gonna have to come up with another $500-$600 a month. Easy. If those kids are little kids, bro, daycare? Oh my God. Daycare is so expensive that it makes sense to quit your job and just raise the kid. You look better quitting your job, working it out with the other parent. I'm going to quit my job, stay home, raise the kid, and then I'll just go out and get, again, under the table money. I'll go out and get those jobs. But my primary function is going to be to raise the kid because it's cheaper. Man, daycare today will break anybody's budget. So let's try to, let's see. I did something wrong. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Uh-oh. I might have messed up. Hold on. Let me stop the screen and bring it back. All right. Bring it back. So forgive me because y'all know I am dusty, super dusty, man, rusty. I haven't been producing my own stuff in such a long time, but we're going to bring it back. So now he's going to talk about people who make $40,000 a year, and he's going to break it down. Again, this video will be in the description below. If you guys are watching this on Team Replay, please go click it and watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. And like and subscribe. This is a major YouTuber. He's been around forever. He has over 6.7 million subscribers. So, help him get up to 10 million. Let's check it out.
What we can do with $40,000 a year.
Now, my name is Simon. I am the representative of the median American income of a single earner. I make $40,000 a year as an event coordinator at a country club in Atlanta. My $40,000 salary gives me just over $3,000 a month. After federal
$40,000 a year as an event coordinator, bro. I coordinate events. I do comedy shows. We do all sorts of stuff, man. We do networking events. I can make more than that on my own. $40,000 and you're working with the company. Come on, Simon, man, they getting you, player. You need to demand more.
Federal and state taxes, I'm left with just under $2,700. Using that same data set, my budget for housing is $1,133. I'm kind of feeling this one-bedroom house. Let's say between rent for this house and my utilities, I'm paying $1,133 for my monthly housing expenses. The country club is kind of far from my house, and because there's no public transportation, I'm gonna need a car. I saved up and purchased this 2011 Subaru Forester on Facebook Marketplace. I got it for $4,500. So like George, I spend about $136 a month just on gas to get to my job. This leaves me with a little over $400 for everything else. Guys gotta eat. What am I gonna do for food? According to the BLS data, someone like me spends around $467 a month on food. I typically spend about $100 a week on groceries and can use the rest on a dinner out or two. I've got a Kroger grocery store 4 minutes away from my house. And at this point, I'm definitely cognizant of every price on these shelves. I'm using coupons, trying to get the best deal, but I have leeway to spend a little bit more on maybe a decent cut of meat or some fresh produce. Maybe I buy organic every once in a while. I can comfortably feed myself if I'm smart about how I spend and I don't eat out too much. This income.
So you can see the difference right there. Like he's almost doubled his income, going from $25,000 to $40,000 a year. And again, they're doing this in Atlanta. So he's like, okay, he can afford to get himself into a place. He hasn't bought a place, but he can rent a house. He can shop better, like go to the grocery store and buy stuff. Making 40 grand a year as a single person, no kids. Whereas when you were making 25,000, you just really couldn't even do that. In fact, in your neighborhood, you didn't even have places to really go and shop and get like good food, like fresh produce and stuff like that. But still, 40 grand, not a lot of money. And we looked up the median income. Like I said, we can agree that 50 grand is the median. I mean, it keeps going up, but the purchasing power is going down. Like the US dollar is struggling. We're going to be talking about that as we move forward as well, but not tonight, but we're going to be talking about that, the lost purchasing power of the dollar, like with inflation and everything else is going on. But 40 grand in Atlanta, not a whole lot of money. Like, you really got to stay on your tippy toes, watch your P's and your Q's, because one misstep and you through. Now, $40,000 in, I don't know, Walla Walla, Washington might be really good. $40,000 in Delville, Alabama might be pretty good. But 40 grand, in Atlanta, Georgia, no. 40 grand in Cincinnati, Ohio, maybe. You're going to be living okay, but you're still going to be in rough neighborhoods. You're still going to be putting yourself at risk. here's the thing, like you're trying to make it out. You want to get, yourself in a better position, but poor folks got to stay in the hood, bro. Or you got to pay more to live someplace safe. So, with the first example, making $25,000 a year, bro, he in the hood. He in somebody's hood, right? $25,000 a year, but you need to have your pistol on you. You know what I'm saying? Thing at $40,000 a year. You gonna be, if you ain't right in the hood, you hood adjacent. You close enough to the hood that it's a problem. They see, you know what I'm saying? You might be on the wrong corner at the wrong time, walking down to the grocery store and coming back. Somebody might run up on you. So those are things too that people need to think about, man. It's like, bro, I remember like just growing up the way we grew up, man. I didn't know where I was. I didn't understand. I thought everyone lived like that until I became grown and I saw the world. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the world I come from? Because this world out here is way different. I'm dealing with people who ain't never, bro, the family pet normally dies at the vet. You know what I mean? Because it was sick and they take the pet in. Bro, I grew up in a neighborhood where it was dog carcasses everywhere, cats, possums, just dead animals everywhere, man, just bloating and smelling, man, like the smell of a dead animal. Oh my God, especially in like an abandoned building or something like that. My goodness, animals smell bad, bro, the smell of death. And then humans, and sometimes you have to smell that. Like, boy, what was that smell in there? Then you come back later on, the police done put the tape up and everything. Somebody done found inside the house. That was just normal for me. I thought everybody went through that. And I realized, like, nope. Rich folks ain't ever, they don't even see a dead animal, let alone come across one that's like bloated out in the sun, about to burst. Anyway, my bad. Scam likely in the building. I got sidetracked. Right, $40,000 a year, yeah, stay with your uncle, stay with your family. 40 grand a year is good when you still living with mom and dad or uncle or cousin. You living with someone, so you don't have to, you can eliminate the housing expense. I'm sure you're going to be helping like bring in groceries and stuff like that, but $40,000 is good so you can start trying to save up some money so you can get out of there on your own once you get that pay raise. Once you get up to that, 55, 60 grand mark. But bro, I just can't believe the amount of money that people are living on today. But let's get back to the video.
Income level is right on the threshold where employers start to sponsor your healthcare plan. They start to subsidize it. That's a thing here in America. And luckily, my employer does. But even still, I spend $300 a month on health, medicine, out-of-pocket doctors, pre-deductible expenses, and now I get to pay for a gym. I signed up for this low-cost gym for $10 a month. So after covering these basic needs, I have $231 left for everything else, all of my other essentials. Laundry, cell phone, internet brings me down to $126. I will try to put some of this away for an emergency or a trip, put it into a savings account with a good interest rate, so it will grow over time. But to be honest, I'm probably going to spend this on entertainment. Like, might go out with some friends, and after all of that, I end up around zero. So all in all, I'm doing better than George, but not that much better. I've got some.
I mean, he's doing the exact same, and realistically, bro, like I said, George would be down about $300, maybe $400 negative per month, and Simon would probably be, well, let's take that back. George would probably be down like $225 per month, just cover the difference with his credit card. And Simon would be down probably $300, maybe $325 a month, and cover the difference with his credit card. Because that's what led to the debt crisis. We're gonna be talking about that later on as time goes on, like the debt crisis in America. And this is how it happens. Brother Smeebles, man, grew up on the farm. So yeah, farm guys understand this, right? And hood dudes understand this. But yeah, man, like that smell, yeah, having to burn a dead diseased sheep. Now that's the smell I never. Ooh, because you got the wool plus the flesh and everything. Oh, that has to plus whatever they ate. Oh, yeah, that has to be bad. I remember being around fires, like abandoned buildings would burn down, and then they would come to find that there was like animals in the building, and you could smell that. But, whew, I can only imagine, bro. All the sheep, my goodness, but you countries, I don't know what, Schmeebles. That's what's up, though. That's what's up. But But y'all can see $25,000 a year versus $40,000 a year. You're negative every month. Like you need more money. This is why America needs a working wage, bro. A working wage. We gotta have. Let's listen to the last little bit of this part, and then we'll pause.
Some money left over at the end of the month, but an emergency expense would still leave me in debt.
All right, let's up this to 100 grand a year. And
All right, we'll stop here. We'll pick up the 100 grand next time we talk about this. But hey, guys, I just want you guys to definitely check out this video. It's gonna be in the description, but I'm gonna put it in here too, so you guys can check out. If you want to check it out, you can check out the rest of it. Bro, Americans don't make enough money. And I'm pretty sure this is the case all over the modern world, you know what I mean, especially the developed world. I'm sure it's the same thing in UK, same thing in Australia, New Zealand, you know what I mean, definitely in Japan. Americans, people aren't making enough money to just survive. Like, I'm not talking about having enough money to go out and buy yourself a top of the line BMW or Mercedes or something like that. I'm not talking about having enough money to go out there and buy yourself tailor-made suits and, like luxurious timepieces. I ain't talking about all that. I'm talking about just to cover the basic necessities for living. You know, your housing, bro, food, you know what I mean, medical expenses, transportation, just that. Americans don't make it. I mean, when you're making $25,000, back to that first example, you're making $25,000 a year. Right, you find you a place and you have to get to work. That person's not going to have a car or access to a car. That person is going to have to take the bus and maybe some sort of train. So here's the thing. Like the place that I work, a little part-time gig, they have like a remote parking situation to where you park your car and then you have to get on a shuttle bus and then you have to get on like a train, like a little shuttle train to get to the job site. You know, it's a pain in the ass, but I mean, it is what it is. For someone like me, because I'm 12 minutes door to door. I'm in the parking spot like 12 minutes after I lock my door. So it's right down the street for me. There's people, man, they have to, just to get to that parking lot, bro, you talking like 2 buses. They got to come and then walk about a quarter of a mile just to get to that shuttle bus. Just to get you know what I mean? Or try to take a bus directly to the job site, which is impossible. You can't get a bus there. You're going to have to go and get on that shuttle. So you might be looking at people to go just to work a 6-hour shift at minimum wage to get to work. They might have to spend 2 hours on the bus getting there, work 6 hours, and spend 2 hours on the bus getting home. Right? 10 hours. 10 hours. You got to pay for that bus. You're gonna get something to eat and all that. 10 hours. Just to work your 6 hours at minimum wage. Right? And then they're sitting there thinking, like, if I just make $8,000 less a year, I can get government assistance. Why am I putting myself through all this? You know what I mean? It is crazy. Man, I bet they are, bro. I bet they're feeling it over there, man. They're feeling it in Canada. You know what I mean? They're feeling it. I got friends. Old Joe could probably tell us. They're feeling it in Canada, Australia. I mean, it's all coming to a head, man. You know, of course, we focus on what's going on here in the U.S. because this is where we are. But, man, I feel y'all, man. I know it's bad. I know it's bad in UK. I have friends in the UK that tell me all the time, like, bro, it's crazy. It's been crazy in UK. It's been crazy over there. Now, I mean, I don't have too many friends in Germany or Scandinavia or anything like that, or Eastern Europe. I need to make some friends over there and find out what it's like. But anywhere you go, if you have money, life is great. And if you just one of the regular workers, life is tough, man. Life is tough. 4 hours just trying to get back and forth to work 6 hours. 10 hours of your day gone. Right? And you get like kids and stuff like that, man. It It's crazy. Brother Smeeble says a bloke at my local 7-Eleven, nice Aussie bloke, got talking to him one day and he told me he sold his car to cover living, but he has decent public transportation so he can get to work, but struggle for him. Man, it's like that, bro. Like, and like California, like when I got hired by the FAA in 1998, I didn't have a car. I had nothing but a bunch of debt. Right. So I get out there and I had this job. Like I got this career. All I had to do, and I told this story before, I had like, you know, people who become lifelong friends help me out when I got there. I was stranger to them when I got there, but they gave me some money, and one of my friends let me stay with her when she got her house, you know, and I was just there for like maybe a month and a half, got on my feet, and I was able to get an apartment with a roommate who also was, you know, working there the same day. We started the same day. And again, we're all family to this day. All of us are still super tight, except for like one of the dudes, but everybody else, we're like super tight. And, bro, I didn't have a car. And that was the one thing that the air traffic controllers I work with, it blew their mind. Like, well, just go get a car. Just go to the dealership and get a car. Like, bro, my credit is terrible. I don't have money for a down payment. Like, I don't have the work history is going to be established here, but I mean, my work history, I wasn't making this kind of money. Like, bro, I went from making, I don't think I made more than $22,000 a year the 4 years I got out of the Army. I think I was always under 20 grand. But let's say it was 20, right, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like, dude, who's going to give me a car loan based on that? Like 4 years making $20,000 a year? Come on, man. That's not going to happen. So for the first 5 or 6 months, I was taking the bus. LA has the worst public transportation system ever. I was living in Warner Center, working in Van Nuys, if anybody knows, but that's a long way. That's a long way in a car. And I had to figure out how to get there on the buses. And yeah, it would, on Sundays, I would spend 2 or 3 hours just getting to work. So again, it'd be like five hours of just travel time to get to work. And I work my little 8-hour shift. And sometimes like people that I work with, they're like, well, I'm not going to take you all the way home, but I'll take you halfway because I'm going that way or whatever. They'll drop me halfway off. So that'll cut down my time. But like, all right, cool. Because my friend dropped me off here, I can get home in, an hour and 15 minutes as opposed to 2.5 hours. So, bro, it was rough. And then, of course, once I got myself established, yeah, I went out and I got myself a car. And then like 6 months after that, I went out and got myself a real car, and then, gradually, got on my feet. I was good to go. But bro, and that was me I was under 6 figures, but I went from making like 20 grand to 75 grand instantly. And then within 18 months, I was knocking on the door of 100,000. And then I think within 2.5 years, I was already into 6 figures. So, and again, I was single, no kids. You could move a whole different kind of way at $100,000 a year. And we'll break that down. You know what? We should break it down now. Why not? Because he said, let's break down this $100,000 a year thing. Let me bring it back. We'll break it down. Now, I was making $100,000 a year living in California. Now, if I stayed in Cincinnati and worked at CVG, right, the airport there, the Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Airport, I would have been making roughly the same amount of money. Probably would have been maybe 20% less. But I would have eventually got to 100,000 at CVG probably within 3 years. Had I stayed in Cincinnati and I worked at CVG and I made their training program, my life would have been completely different. $100,000 in Cincinnati where I had tons of support. Oh, bro, it would have been way different. My cousin was there. We were already roommates. It would have been way different. Everything would have been different. I would have been living with him, not paying for nothing, right? And driving one of his cars. Then once I got on my feet, it'd have been a wrap. I'd have paid off all his cars. We probably would have went, bought some property. It'd have been insane. The money would have been just stupid. But leaving Cincinnati to go to California is way more expensive than Cincinnati. way bigger, way faster. So I was still doing good, but man, I would have been, oh my God, like it would meant a completely different animal. But I'm glad I went to LA because I learned so much and I got to do so much, and my network grew. Cincinnati, I was pretty entrenched. I had a really good network, but Cincinnati is a very small pond compared to LA. So, I don't regret it, but it's just the money just different. $100,000 on your own with no support in Cali is probably the equivalent of making $70,000 in Cincinnati with no help. I would say it's probably the equivalent. So you can imagine $100,000. Oh my God. So let's listen to him talk about making $100,000 a year. Right? So let's check this out.
And see what our budget looks like.
Okay, now I'm Tim, and I just found this job in sales. It makes me $100,000 a year. I'm officially in the six figures. I make 4 times more than George, and double the median income that Simon makes. I'm now near the top 10% of earners in this country. My salary gives me $8,333 every month. $2,200 of that is gonna go to taxes, and I'm left with just over $6,000. In this income bracket, you see that people spend around 30% of their income on housing. Until recently, this salary would have been more than enough to buy a house, but these days, not so much. But for the case of our assumption, let's assume that I, Tim, have been saving for 10 years and I'm finally ready to purchase my first home. Zillow is telling me that I can afford a house that's around $314,000. I'm gonna buy this nice 1-bedroom townhouse in Atlanta. It's got these nice wood floors, all of this natural light. Oh wait, no. Looks like there's a condo fee, $426 per month, probably for that fancy workout room. Okay, we're gonna have to keep looking.
So you can see, like, you get the money, but it's $100,000 in LA to buy a piece of property. Like, LA has always been expensive. It was expensive back then. 1998, it was expensive. No one knew it was going to go parabolic like it did. No one knew it was going to jump like that. And then no one knew it was going to crash. No one, like, some people saw it coming. Michael Burry saw it coming. But, like, bro, it was, again, I was a small town guy. It's like, bro, you want me to spend, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on a house? I don't know, man. Like, and then people like, you're approved. Just go ahead and get it. Like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, the money was just different. Because I could go to Cincinnati and buy my whole block for that kind of bread, bro. And it's like, I don't know. Brother Smeebles, man, it's like the biggest issue with people going from minimum wage to say $100K is that a lot goes stupid and spend all their money and keep in the same position they were in on the minimum wage. That is a fact. That's the comment of the night right there, bro. That is a fact, especially people who come from the lower echelon financially. You've been around, like, you don't know anybody who's making that kind of money. You don't know anybody who can tell you what to do with that kind of money. You don't know anyone who's ever paid taxes on that kind of money. So you coming from a world where you ain't ever seen that. No one that you've been around has ever seen that. No one knows what to do. The government is going to have their way with you because you don't know anything about any tax havens or anything like that. They're going to wreck you, right? You're going to have some fun. Like, you got money. You want to do stuff. People throwing money at you. You want to go out there and do some stuff. You want to look good. You're going to pay for some clothes. You're going to buy yourself a nice car. Well, finance yourself a nice car. Stuff that you weren't even thinking about prior to making that kind of money. So you were 100% correct, brother. People go out there, you get into $100,000, that money gone so fast. It took more, 10 years in before I realized, like, I gotta get smart here. Like, luckily our union and the government has, like, the 401k and retirement program and all that benefits. I just maxed out on all that. And that was great. Right? That's what saved me. Because otherwise, man, that money gone. And there's a lot of people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You get people in that bracket, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, that spend all that money. They still live paycheck to paycheck. Why? Every time they get a pay raise, they get a bigger house. Every time they get a pay raise, they get another car. Like they get another bag, they get another watch, right? They take a more expensive trip. They go and we're going to Vegas, or we're gonna go, we're gonna take everybody out to Mr. Child's, which that's not a hit on Mr. Child's, my favorite restaurant. Y'all know that. But you're gonna take your whole crew to Mr. Child's, well, you mess around and drop 10 grand easy. 10 grand on food and drink easy one night. So you're right, man. There's people you just don't know. And this bull, it goes back to being educated, bro. Damn, thank you, Smee. Was that, bro? And he's in Australia. So you see, this is a first world issue. Ain't like it's an American thing. Same shit going on over there down under. Right now, I'm guaranteed same thing's going on in New Zealand. Same thing's going on in South Korea. Same thing's going on in Japan. And on and on and on and on. France, Spain, right? Portugal, you name it. Right? Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, you name it. Finland, it's all going on everywhere. If you don't know, you don't know. Right? So, and there's tons of ways to make money, but that money will go so fast. Those first 5 years, you'll look up and like, where'd all the money go? Like, you don't know. And then, I work with people who got hired in who came from middle class, real middle class. Their parents had money for them. So when they got into the FAA, the parents were like, nah, you buying a house. Their parents will give them the down payment, go out there, find a house for them. You get this house. You make enough money. This how they'll budget their money for them, write it all down. They got accountants. They tell you what you can afford. Like, man, nah, you ain't getting that, get this. And it works out fine. But they're dealing with people who've been dealing with that type of money their whole life. So they got the playbook. They're going to run them plays. But if you've never dealt with that kind of bread, who you going to talk to? Who you going to ask? It took me a long time just to get into the circles where people would tell me what to do with money. Like, oh, this is what you got to do with that. And, write this number down. This is the number to my accountant. They'll take care of you. Go over there, tell them I sent you. They're going to take care of you, show you what and how to deal with this and how to get out of that. And what the government say you owe them money? Nah, no, you don't. Go over there and talk to these people. Man, I ain't had none of that. When I had problems with the IRS, talked to my father about it, he didn't know what to do. He was shocked at how much money that they withheld from me in taxes every year. He couldn't get past that. He's like, how much? They withheld from my withholdings was way more than he made a year. And that was just my withholding. So it was, bro, it's tough out here. It's tough out here. And I was just food. They got me good. It's all right. All right, I'm going to get it back, though. It's all right. Trust and believe. I've been around enough of these people now. I've been lucky enough to talk to multimillionaires, billionaires. They already let you know, like, oh, yeah, man, nah, we do it this way. We're going to show you the play. Nah, this is how you structure it. Because now you got to talk about structure, financial structure, right? So, and that's what we do. That's what we do out here. That's what we're doing out here in Tampa. We got this organization called Pillars of Success. We get together in real life, and that's all we do is we talk about these things. We talk about structure. We talk about what's going on and different opportunities. We talk about what the new schemes are out there, like what to look out for. Like, look out for this scheme, is what people are doing. Look out for this insurance place, is what people are doing. Look into doing this, right? We're looking at, like, what's going on in the insurance markets, what's going on in the real estate markets, what's going on out here with HR. We bring in people from HR, from different companies. Hey, this is what HR is doing, so don't fall for this, don't fall for that. We bring in law enforcement. We bring in attorneys. Bro, that's what we got to do. YouTube is our way to network virtually, but you still got to come together in fellowship in real life. So the Pillars of Success, we're just getting going. We have our first meetup on the 12th, coming up. Yeah, coming up on the 12th. So, yeah, Pillars of Success Society is what we call ourselves. And I tell you what, man, that's one of the things I've been working on. Shout out to my man, Izzy. We've been working on this. We're going to get this going. It's the stuff that we've been doing. We just kind of been doing it loosely. Now we're all coming together. We're bringing it together. Now we know how to structure it. Now we know how to get these things done. Oh, we got Shaw in the building. What's good, fam? Uh-oh, wrong button. Appreciate you, fam. With the $5 super chat, man. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate the donation, man. I know how tough it is out there, man. So anybody, I mean, I just love it when you guys listen to me and we interact. But for anyone to send a donation, man, like seriously, thank you. Thank you. Because I know how tight it is out here. Yo, Shaw, man, I saw you on, what was that? It's Complicated. I saw you on It's Complicated, bro. I was like, I got real excited, bro. I was like, yo, I know him. Yo, what's up? I see you. Man, you were breaking it down, fam. You were breaking it down. We were talking about the family law system and stuff like that. I'm working on a show. I want to do a show. We're gonna talk family law. But congratulations, man. That was nice. That was nice. Yeah. Child support, man, that has to change. Stay Slick with Kit. He was just on Sunday talking about child support, family court. And you know, they're over in UK. So yeah, man, it's going down. Scam, I'm gonna send you the it's at Trillis. It's at Trillis. The first meetup is gonna be at Trillis on the, let me make sure I get the date right. Because y'all know my mind is spinning. It is on the 12th, Saturday the 12th at Trillis, from 12 until 2. So we're starting at 12, man. No, 12 to 1. Sorry about that. So we can leave whenever we leave, but we put on a flyer from 12 to 1. It's on Eventbrite. We already have people locking in. It's a free event. So make sure you pull up, bro. Make sure you pull up. I'm hoping like when everything is said and done with your situation, let me know when you can talk about your situation, man. I would love to do an episode with you, bro, talking about your situation, because I like your plan. I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing, man. So and thank you, bro. My brother Shaw was saying like it's a great show. DL is an important subject. There are a lot of challenges when people come into money for the first time. That is a fact. That is a fact. I mean, it just, like, it is what it is. If you come into a situation where that money is sustained over time, then, you know, you'll be able to make your mistakes, you know, hit those potholes, those traps, and then you bounce back. You learn your lessons. You're paying for that. And it's great if you come from a family, if you come from a world where your people know what to do and tell you how to handle that. And if you don't, hey, excuse me, join a society like the Pillars of Society or, you know, Castle Club. You know, I know a lot of people be like, man, oh, you get drama with Fresh and Fit. Like, no, I don't. I still, I respect Myron and Fresh. It's regrettable what happened, but that was some dude. You know, that's something else you got to learn. You know what I mean? The more success you have, the more people come around. You got to be careful, man. You got to watch the snakes. And, you know, that was what it was. But nah, I support those dudes. It's like Myron's politics is out there, is too far out there for me. But when Myron talks about this sort of stuff, when Myron talks about the sexual marketplace, when Myron and Fresh are talking about what's going on with dating and how to find yourself a wife and all that good stuff, man, I'm with them 100%. I am with them on that. Again, like when Myron gets into his politics, okay, y'all going over there and talk about that. I'm gonna stay over here. But outside of the politics, they talk about what's going on out here, how to get your money up, how to get your body right, how to get your mind right. I'm with them 100%. So, you come into some money, you're going to want to be in an organization like Castle Club. You're going to want to be in an organization, with like-minded individuals who are going to help you make the right moves. Just have people that you can bounce ideas off of. Like, hey, man, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Bro, I'm telling you, that's, God, man, like the value of that is priceless. It's priceless. Right? And Smeagol was saying this is the reason they don't teach financial literacy in schools. It's a fact. Keep the system running how they want it. Unknowing slaves. That is a fact, bro. That is a fact. It is. If you are a 1%er, or if you are someone who wants to take over people and get people to, you want worker bees, you want an uneducated populace. You want people who are just going to say, hey, you make up my mind for me. That's what you want. And that's what we have certainly here in America. Sounds like that's what's going on in Australia. Guarantee you the same thing's going on up north in Canada. When you got people who are just like, nope, you take care of everything. Bro, it's a wrap. If you can't think, if you're not a thinker, man, somebody gonna get you. Somebody is gonna get you, man. Brother Michael, like, say, make sure no weave, no weave hats, and no BBLs, no bat eyelashes, no tattoos or piercings. Bro, there's so many. And that's another thing too, man. I tell my daughter, like, think about that. No piercings. We got rules. No tattoos, no piercings. You know, she wants to get her hair colored a different way, like streaks or whatever. I'm like, you get all A's and B's, and you can get a streak in your hair. We can talk about it. And she got all A's, all B's, and one C. I'm like, guess no streaks for you. Yeah, wait till next year. But the powers to be, whoever they are, they're going to continue to run the board until people take these phones and go out here and teach themselves. Teach themselves. You go back to the, 15, 16, 17 hundreds. Like, you go back then, right? And bro, it was so hard to get information. Like, you had to go to certain sources. You had to be in certain circles. That information was kept tight, right? You had to be in organizations like the Masons and stuff like that, or, to get this information, like for a regular man to level himself up. Now it's on your phone. It's on your computer. It's right there. Just right there. You can learn anything. You can learn anything. You would think that our population would be way smarter than it is, but hey, man, it's what it is. It is what it is. So let's get back to this last $100,000 video part. How much you get for $100,000? Let's get back to this. My bad. I'm a little distracted. I'm trying to find information I'm looking for. Like, y'all know I'm rusty. I'm like, well, what am I looking for? Okay, so I got it now. Let's get back to it.
Okay, I found one. It's a one-bedroom condo. It's got a fireplace, access to a pool and a fitness room. It's in a pretty good location, and it's just under $260 per month, which is about 32% of my income for housing. I get to spend more on housing than George and Simon make in a month. Oh, and buy that down payment and closing costs to make this house purchase. Thanks to my good credit, I can qualify for a good car loan that allows me to buy this beauty, a $50,000 BMW. It'll cost me $754 a month for 5 years, and it will leave me with $579 every month to spend on gas, repairs, and insurance. I'm even starting to be able to afford to bring it to a professional car wash place, get it detailed every couple months. I am upper middle class now, so I only have to pay 11% of my income on food per month just to feed myself. I get to eat out a lot more lately. When I'm at the grocery store, I get to peruse the fresh and nutritious food much more abundantly. I can buy nice meat and nice produce. I'm not overly concerned about the prices. And lately, since meal delivery apps have become more common, I'm ordering DoorDash like once or twice a week. I'm starting to be able to use money to save myself time and stress. My job.
He said he's upper middle class at $100K a year. That's no. I firmly believe that there's no more middle class in America. Either you have it or you don't. So he's lower wealthy, right? You break into that $100,000, you're at the entry level for the wealthy folks. You're no longer poor. You just jump that divide. So you're not people, because no one wants to be rich. No one wants to be poor. Everybody wants to be middle class. Oh, we're upper middle class. We're middle class. We're lower middle class. There ain't no more middle class, bro. You riding around the brand new BMW M class. You're like, $50,000. The BMW he showed in the video was not the BMW he would have bought. That was an M. Ain't no M out there. It's no M nothing that's $50,000. So, but that was great. You can't get a BMW for $50,000 though. So you got the $50,000, you got your whatever BMW. And that's great. And, he's talking about, maintenance and all that. For the 4 years, you're going to have a maintenance agreement, right? 4 years. bumper to bumper is going to be on that. And you can extend that. So you can pay more money and you can get a maintenance agreement that will cover your car for the life of that loan. So you ain't really paying for no maintenance, are you? Like, that's all covered. Like the service agreement, maintenance agreement is all in there. Right? That's part of that. Wrap that up in that deal. So the more money you make, the better deals you can get for yourself. Because you making $25,000 a year going to buy some car somewhere, bro. They gonna laugh at you, man. Like you want to buy here, pay here a lot. You ain't going to BMW. You ain't getting your financing through BMW USA, which is, they got great financing. I'm here to tell you. But there's, it's like eating like that, being able to go out, buying your house. Like, bro, now you're not poor anymore. It's people who have it and people who don't. The have-nots and the have-yachts. And you're on your way to having a yacht. When you hit that kind of money, you're $100,000 in Atlanta, Georgia, you starting to get close to the have-yacht money. So you've jumped that divide. So that's my take on it, people. I don't believe that there's a middle class anymore.
Pays for a lot of my health insurance, and yet I still pay $500 a month on health, medicine, and these kind of expensive supplements I've been buying. I'm able to save money at this point so that a minor medical emergency isn't a huge deal. But the doctors I do go to have to be covered by my insurance plan. I can't go out of network. It would be too expensive to pay out of pocket. With all my big expenses covered, I still have $665 to cover Wi-Fi, unlimited data on my phone, and since laundry and a gym are in my apartment, I actually don't need to use much cash for that. So even after all of these essentials, I have money to save and invest. And even still, I have cash left over to go out with friends. Every few months, I'm able to save up enough to go on vacation. My work pays me even when I'm taking time off, so I don't need to worry about that. I do have to strategically choose my travel locations to make sure that they're affordable. Because I chose a cheaper place, I'm able to enjoy drinks and food while I'm there. When I come home, I do have to save and scrounge for a couple of months to recuperate, but it's not too stressful. Not bad, and in fact, much better than the vast majority of Americans.
All right, now let's up this to $1 million a year and see what our budget starts to look.
All right, we're definitely going to leave it there. We're not going to talk about $1 million a year, which is a great life, but not going to talk about that right now. This was great, man. I'm glad you guys were able to jump on here, man. Appreciate y'all, brother Michael, brother Shaw, brother Smeeble, Scam, like was in the building, man. We had Mandrell up in here. I really appreciate you guys. Old Joe, Jay was up in here. Brother Michael was in here, man. Thank you so much, brother Donnie, Joe Cool. Man, I really appreciate y'all coming through and supporting your man. Because, like I said, man, we out here making it happen, bro. This is, if anyone can learn from my wins and my losses, then that's a great thing. That's a great thing. And so, like I said, I'm not afraid to share that stuff with you. A lot of people just want you to see it when they're winning. I want you to see it when I'm out here grinding as well. Like this is, so at the end of the day, when something bad happens to you, you can always like, but shit, man, Saint got through it. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit him up. Let me tell him what's going on. Like, maybe he got some advice for me, and I will have some advice for you. Right? And that advice is to keep pushing forward. Don't give up. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded that won't quit. They won't let you quit. My people wouldn't let me just lay down on my sofa and die. They wouldn't let me do it. Like, you got to get up. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? I was lucky enough to be able to network my way in with some other folks. And meeting Will Golson, NFL guy. You know what I mean? Solid brother. Real cool dude. And here's another one. Like, come on, man. We finna hoop. Come on. He signed us up to get into a basketball league, like 35 and up. I'm like, man, you sure you want me to squad? Like, bro, you running with us, man. It's taken care of, man. Come through. You running with us. So that's what I've been doing. I'm out there running with guys 20 years younger than me. And he's just like, I see you, Saint. I see you. And, bro, I'm so grateful to him for that. Like, I was like, hey, man, I tell him all the time, like, bro, I'll be sitting around the house doing nothing right now, feeling sorry for myself, man. You got me up, got me amped up. I'm trying to get my game together, bro. Like, man, I'm a mess out there on the court, y'all. But I've been getting better. Just dealing with injuries. I just, and then like, my free throw game. I went 0 for 4 from the line Sunday. But I had 4 points. I had 4 points. I had one really good pick. Man, I set a pick. It was perfect pick, man. And our point guard ran it. Man, the dude ran into me, man, fell down. I ain't gonna lie, I felt good, man. We ran a perfect pick, but they beat our ass in that game. I ain't gonna lie, they beat us down. Oh, they beat us bad. What are we? We're 3-2, and we got 2 more regular season games, so we got to win the next 2 games. We'll be all right. You know what I mean? We'll be 5-2. No, I'm sorry, we're 3-3. We're 500 right now. We're 3-3. So we end the season 5-3. Going into the playoffs, I think we'll be all right. So, but I mean, it's just, this is what I mean. Surround yourself with people who are doing things. Surround yourself with people who are pushing forward, right? Surround yourself with people who are making shit happen, and you're gonna be making shit happen too. You just can't be sitting around doing nothing when you see all your people out here busting their ass. So just, that's the secret, guys. That's the secret. Make sure you get out there. Make sure y'all do that, man. You have a good night too, Brother Shaw, man. Good seeing you, Brother Michael. He's like, I thought you were about to do a show with Mr. Organic. Hey, man, if I could catch up with him. Last time I was in Miami, I saw Organic in front of the Icon, which is where he lives, with his dog. And this was a minute ago. It was the last time I was in Miami. And I looked down like, man, that's Organic. And apparently he had just moved in. He had just moved in from wherever, man. So I should have went down there and hollered at him, but I wanted to give him his space. But I should have, looking back, I should have went down there and hollered at him. But hey, man, who knows? Next time I'm in Miami, if I bump into him, man, we'll set it up. You know what I mean? Like, we have this. I Really Want to Know podcast. We ain't going nowhere. Around August is when we're going to start dropping for Will's podcast. Spoken in Smoke is the name of that, with Will Golston. Spoken in Smoke. Will Golston owns a cigar lounge, a hookah lounge here in Tampa, so we shoot in there. So that's where the title comes from, Spoken in Smoke. And yeah, man, we're gonna be doing some good things. We're gonna be doing some good things. And you know, y'all my people, man. So y'all gonna be there for the ride, man. We gonna make it happen, bro. We gonna make it happen. We gonna take this red pill message. We gonna take it mainstream. We're gonna be sitting there, right, you know, with the likes of Professor Scott Galloway, you know what I mean, right there, talking to folks on the blue pill side, and we're gonna be there on the red pill side with Rolo and Rich Cooper, Mike Surtain, Fresh and Fit, like the rest of them, man. Like, it just, people need to see that there's a broad spectrum out here, and we all have the same mission, which is to help men. And if we help men, we also helping women and helping our society as a whole. So we just gonna keep doing what we do, man. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for rocking with me, man. I'm done. I will be back maybe tomorrow. So I don't know. I don't know what days are going to be scheduled, but I'm going to make it my business to jump on here and do lives at least twice a week. I'm going to make it my business to make that happen, guys. So appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Hit me up on Instagram. Y'all know where to find me. I Really Want to Know podcast. All one word on Instagram. Y'all can find me there. And I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Appreciate you. Especially y'all who've been reaching out to me and keeping tabs on me. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to holler at you. Good night. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.